journalists have asked me this morning if this marks the end. I believe that this marks a stepping stone towards the proper holding to account. This is not a trial. The government which appointed it ensured, legislated that it could not be a trial, that no one could be held responsible. But it must lead to a trial, because it is clear from everything that we have heard and everything that we know that the war on Iraq and the subsequent occupation was a big crime, that a pack of lies was told to the country, the parliament, the armed forces. You know, they hanged Chemical Ali last week for killing thousands of Kurdish people in the attack on Halabja. If that's the price for killing thousands, what's the price for killing hundreds of thousands and having lied in order to bring it about? Hanging would be too good for Tony Blair. If he was a man at all, he'd come out onto the steps of the Queen Elizabeth Conference Centre and commit harikiri in front of the world. It would be the only honourable thing that he could have done, but he won't. He'll skulk away.
Well, I hope that none of us here will forget it, and I hope that we'll keep reminding everybody else that this was really a disaster. It was a disaster not in terms only of the deaths of the people that we read about this morning, but also because it diverted the world's attention from some really serious problems into a non-problem. Tony Blair was, it turns out, a weak, arrogant, cowardly man who was so impressed by the glow of power from the White House that he was prepared to submerge the judgment of all of his senior intelligence officials and to take us into a war that didn't need to be fought. He was a man who really deserves to be remembered for his weakness more than anything else, and his arrogance. He's a self-righteous man who believed that his religion, a religion that he shared with George Bush, gave him the right to make a judgment in the absence of any democratic process. He continued that anti-democratic position that he had established then by introducing a number of laws called the terror laws, which we are now all suffering under, which means that probably any of you can be arrested for taking photographs here because you've probably got a government building somewhere in your lens. You might not know about that law, but you're all criminals now. And don't, whatever you do, don't point your camera at a policeman, because you can be arrested for that as well now.
Domestic extremists, I'm proud of it.
Thank you. So please don't let's forget what Blair did, and not only Blair, but all of the horrible, slimy people in his government, the Jack Straws, for example. They're all still there, and they're all still in power, and they're all still appearing on Question Time, acting as though it wasn't their problem, that somehow they were misled. They weren't misled, they misled us. So don't forget.
From Harold Pinter's speech when he received the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2005. As you know, Harold can't be with us today, but I'm sure he's with us in spirit. As every single person here knows, the justification for the invasion of Iraq was that Saddam Hussein possessed a highly dangerous body of weapons of mass destruction, some of which could be fired in 45 minutes, bringing about appalling devastation. We were assured that was true. It was not true. We were told that Iraq had a relationship with Al-Qaeda and shared responsibility for the atrocity in New York of September 11th, 2001. We were assured that this was true. It was not true. We were told that Iraq threatened the security of the world. We were assured it was true. It was not true.